It began as a dream. Fly an affordable, spacious, durable aircraft. One that performs well at high and low speeds, gets good fuel economy, has long range. One that can land on grass or gravel. A safe, reliable aircraft that is easy to assemble for first-time builders. That's not just a fantasy. Stoddard Hamilton Aircraft, the company behind so many advances and innovations in kit aircraft, has created just the Glasair model to suit you. Introduced in 1979, the Glasairs have been widely accepted as the industry leaders in terms of quality, design integrity, performance, and an important feature lacking in most home builds, utility. Stoddard Hamilton Aircraft provides versatility by offering 4 exciting Glasair models to suit a wide range of pilot desires and abilities. Let's take a look at the different models. The Glasair 2S family includes 3 models of the same sturdy and highly efficient airframe built to use the very reliable Lycoming 160, 180, or 200 horsepower engines. 2S designates a stretched 14-inch longer version which provides for increased longitudinal stability and improved aesthetic appeal over earlier Glasair 1 and 2 models. The Glasair 2S FT is in a performance class far above all other tricycle fixed-gear aircraft. It is the answer for the pilot stepping up to Glasair performance from the single-engine trainer ranks. With a 180 horsepower engine, it boasts a top speed of over 230 miles per hour and cross-country range of more than 1,400 miles. Simply unheard of performance for a fixed-gear airplane. With a top speed of more than 250 miles per hour and a stall speed under 60, the beautiful retractable gear Glasair 2S RG offers the best of both worlds. Blistering speed with trainer-like slow flight characteristics. A rare combination in today's high-performance aircraft. It can carry 2 180-pound pilots and 80 pounds of baggage nearly 1,500 miles in spacious, non-stop comfort. Sturdy, shock-absorbing oleopneumatic landing gear and a low-maintenance hydraulic system contribute highly to the success and popularity of the RG model. Similar in performance to the FT, the Glasair 2S TD is a conventional tailwheel type aircraft with sporty appeal and short field capabilities. As with any tailwheel aircraft, it's more demanding in ground handling than the tricycle models, yet those qualified to fly it will find it exhilarating. If brute strength and absolute speed are what you desire, then the Glasair 3 is for you. It's the ultimate kit-built aircraft. With 300 horsepower, you'll get a top speed of over 290 miles per hour and cruise speeds of 250 to 280 miles per hour, depending upon power settings. winning performance, and unforgettable fighter-like feel and sound. The Glasair 3 possesses a solo climb weight comparable to a P-51. It's the closest a civilian aircraft has come to achieving such thrilling performance. A turbocharged version of the Glasair 3 cruises at speeds near 330 miles per hour, operating at altitudes above 18,000 feet. The Glasair 3 opens up a new realm of sport flying and transportation never thought possible before in a personal plane. Is the performance believable? You can bet on it, since the Glasair's performance specifications have all been well documented in such events as past Oshkosh races, the annual Cafe Efficiency Contest, and the Sun 60 Air Race. The Glasair 3 holds 7 National Aeronautic Association World Speed Records, of which several were made in the short takeoff and landing category. Though the Glasairs are fast, they exhibit gentle stall characteristics and excellent slow flight qualities. From 1979 to 1983, the Glasairs operated out of a rough 1,800-foot gravel strip appropriately nicknamed the Pig Farm, a proven testimony to its landing gear design and short field capabilities. All Glasair models feature a roomy 42-inch wide side-by-side cockpit. This expanded cockpit is considerably wider, taller, and longer than earlier Glasair models and will comfortably fit pilots up to 6 feet 8 inches in height. The comfortable seating position provides excellent support for those long hours aloft.
I've been asked many times how comfortable it is as people look inside the airplane, and we've been used to flying a Mooney for quite a few years, and this is a whole lot more comfortable than a Mooney, and plenty of luggage space for the ladies.
A unique feature is the Glasair's roomy baggage compartment, which holds up to 100 pounds in a roomy 12 cubic foot area behind the seat. The panel is large enough to house full IFR instrumentation, and if an autopilot is desired, Stoddard Hamilton can provide a Century or S-Tech autopilot system compatible with the Glasair's control systems. The latest in sculptured instrument panel design is an example of Stoddard Hamilton's dedication to improving cockpit management, an important factor in high-performance flying. The Glasair's sturdy gull-wing canopy frames, standard on all models, can be opened for ground taxi and run-up, and when securely latched, seal out all water and wind for noise-free comfort. The factory-molded canopy frames are manufactured in 2 halves and feature an internal layer of unidirectional stiffeners which eliminates frame distortion at high speed. The unique canopy latch system allows external access to the occupants in the event of an emergency, a safety feature standard on all Glasairs, but often missing on other home-built designs. Looking closely at the exterior surface features is a good indication of why the Glasairs perform so well. Everything is flush-mounted, from the wingtip lenses, windshield and canopies, to the gear doors and oil access door. An advantage of the Glasair's fiberglass structure is that all antennas are mounted on the inside, producing an eye-pleasing mirror-like exterior. Drag-reducing details from the tip of the spinner to the neatly faired-in taillight make the Glasair one of the fastest and most fuel-efficient aircraft in the sky. Another Glasair benefit is its versatility. For serious cross-country pilots, wingtip extensions can be added which increase the rate of climb, increase cruise speeds by 7 miles per hour, and allow an additional 100 pounds gross weight capacity. In less than 20 minutes, the extensions can be easily removed and replaced with the standard short tips for an afternoon of exhilarating aerobatic flying. The versatility of the Glasair offers the best of both worlds. Structural integrity and speed are the Glasair's undisputed trademarks. Extensive engineering and testing have been accomplished on each Glasair model. To ensure a safe aircraft, static load testing of the airframe and other critical components was accomplished and back to date with over 100,000 customer-proven flight hours. The Glasairs have a firewall tested to FAR 23 specifications, capable of withstanding a 2,000-degree flame for 15 minutes. Such specialized fireproofing materials and hardware are supplied as standard equipment in each Glasair kit. As one of the most significant tests for high-speed flight, Glassairs have undergone finite element analysis, ground vibration tests, and flutter analysis with Boeing's powerful Atlas computer system, resulting in aircraft that achieve incredible performance with a high degree of confidence. Few, if any, other home-built designs have accomplished such testing, nor can they claim to be as proven and reliable as the Glasair. The ultimate test of any product is how it performs in normal service. In the case of Stoddard Hamilton's prototype, normal service is anything but normal. All Glasair airframes are designed for aerobatic flight with ultimate design strengths of 9 Gs positive and 6 negative. Stoddard Hamilton has flown exciting air show acts at Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Dayton, Ohio, Lakeland, Florida, and many other popular air shows throughout the United States and Canada since 1983 as a demonstration of the integrity and commitment to quality of the Glasair products.
I just don't see anything else around like this, either a production airplane or home-built airplane that's either as strong or as efficient both slow speed-wise and high speed-wise and strength-wise. I have complete confidence in the airplane and aerobatics, and as you can see, we're not afraid to pull it around, and we're not afraid to go fast in it either. We're 300 plus miles an hour. We've been over 330 miles an hour in it, and up to 9 Gs, and it's just a real confidence-building airplane.
I've been flying Glasairs ever since 1985. And I've flown them in major air shows all over the country. And one reason I chose the Glasair is because I knew it was a very strong airplane. And also I've flown a lot of home-built airplanes, and I thought the Glasair was the smoothest and quietest of the home-built airplanes. So it's a real testimony to the airplane that it can withstand the G loads that I put on it. I pull up to 6 and 7 Gs in the air show, positive G loads, and up to 4 Gs negative, doing outside loop and vertical Lomshabak and torque rolls and tail slides and all of those nice maneuvers.
For those not so aerobatically inclined, the Glasair's proven strength provides peace of mind when encountering in-flight turbulence.
If you've ever seen Bob Herendeen do his aerobatic show in the Glasair 3, you don't ever have to ask any questions about how strong and reliable the airframe is and the engine. Any airplane that can perform like that, I can certainly use as a cross-country airplane and not worry about turbulence and the effects of time and those ordinary worries.
On behalf of all the employee owners of Stoddard Hamilton Aircraft, I'd like to thank you for your interest in our Glasair products and welcome you on this video tour of our facilities here in Arlington, Washington. For those of you who may be new to the Glasair, let's briefly review its history.
Tom Stoddard Hamilton began pursuing the dream of designing and building his own aircraft back in the mid-70s. Although fiberglass composite designs were emerging, such as Burt Rattan's Very Easy, Tom began pioneering tooling and manufacturing processes which would allow for factory pre-molding of the major airframe components as an alternative to the more time-consuming scratch-built aircraft of that day. The Glasair met with resounding success at its first debut at the annual EAA convention in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. With the prestigious Outstanding New Design Award to the Glasair's credit, Stoddard Hamilton Aircraft was launched on a path of success which, 10 years later, continues to set the industry standard for performance, design innovations, and customer satisfaction. To help understand the manufacturing process, visualize the airframe components, in this case a fuselage half, being constructed from the outside surface inward. The mold surface is cleaned and waxed in preparation for receiving a coat of protective gray primer containing a mixture of 2% carbon black. When the Glasair is finished with a final coat of polyurethane paint, the underlying primer with carbon black becomes an ultraviolet protective layer for the lifetime of the airplane. Thus, the longevity of a Glasair is assured straight out of the molds. When the primer is dried, the exterior layers of glass, cloth, and reinforcement areas are positioned and trimmed. A quality assurance check is made and recorded at this and other critical steps during the manufacturing process to guarantee that each part is made exactly per the manufacturing plan. The exterior cloth layers are now wetted with vinyl ester resin. Proper saturation is achieved with the use of squeegees to attain the highest possible cloth-to-resin ratio. By weight, Stoddard Hamilton's hand layup processes are meticulously maintained at a comparable level to those of pre-impregnated composites. During the green cure stage, the parts are carefully trimmed at the mold flanges to assure the accuracy of fit-up during customer assembly. As a safety feature to provide Glasair occupants with overhead roll cage protection, a 3/8-inch thick reinforcement bow of unidirectional roving is laminated into the windshield frame and evenly distributed out onto the fuselage skins. The Glasair's composite foam core is a fire-retardant polyurethane which meets strict military specification fire retardant requirements. Foam panels are cut and beveled from full-size templates and readied for the next step of the manufacturing process, vacuum bagging the foam core in place. Each foam panel is wetted with a thickened adhesive mixture of vinyl ester resin and positioned in its proper location. A plastic vacuum bag is fitted to the mold flanges and sealed along its circumference. A vacuum line is then attached which serves to press the foam core firmly against the outer skin laminations while curing. The final step of the manufacturing process is to position and laminate the inner fiberglass skins. When the final curing time has been reached, the part is carefully removed from the mold and set up for final trim and detailing. All of the Glasair structural components are manufactured using similar processes as was shown for the fuselage. Quality assurance checks made during each step of the manufacturing process ensure both the structural capability and quality of each and every Glasair component. The backbone of the Glasair airframe is its impressive one-piece I-beam wing spar. The spar is constructed of multi-layered unidirectional spar caps and sturdy shear webs of bidirectional cloth. Peace of mind while performing aerobatic maneuvers or encountering turbulence is behind Stoddard Hamilton's philosophy of a one-piece spar. The spar is factory jigged and bonded to the lower wing skin to assure proper alignment and dihedral angle. To assure proper fit and reduce construction time, all Glasair fiberglass parts are detailed and trimmed in factory jigs. Lastly, the parts are delivered to quality assurance personnel for a final stamp of approval and assigned a permanent part number. Stoddard Hamilton maintains records of the quality assurance checks and manufacturing plan of each component referenced by part number. As a means of traceability for each part produced, the part number also references the date of manufacture and the specifications of raw materials used. A big part of the Glasair's continuing success lies with the people behind the product.
As we continued to develop the Glasair and manage our growing business, we realized it was important to retain key employees and address the issue of employee motivation. Even with a good working environment, a we-them atmosphere existed, with the owners on one side of the fence and the employees on the other. As a result, an exciting plan of employee ownership was created in 1987. Speaking as a former owner of the company, and now as one of the many employee owners, I much prefer the enthusiasm, motivation level, and team atmosphere we now have. I've witnessed that an employee-owned company produces a much higher level of quality than a non-employee-owned company because each individual is rewarded for their efforts. This, in turn, is a tremendous advantage to our customers who benefit from a higher level of quality and service.
Just 5.5 years ago that I first came to Stoddard Hamilton, I had often thought that it would be great to have my own business, but money, family considerations, I knew that that probably would never happen. Now, being an employee owner, it has happened. I'm very excited about it. It's made me feel not just that I'm an employee, but that I'm an owner, and what I do really has an effect on the company.
I've been employed here at Stoddard Hamilton for 6 years now. Since we've become employee-owned, I feel more like I'm not just an employee, that I'm actually part of the company. So I do take great pride in being sure that our customers get their parts on time, because I know how important it is to them.
The hard-working, can-do attitude of Stoddard Hamilton's employee owners has also launched them into successful diversification, such as the design and manufacturing of wind turbine blades, space station data management consoles, and aerospace and commercial applications of hand layup and oven-cured pre-preg fiberglass components. Glasair kits set the standard as the most complete and comprehensive kits in the industry. All major fiberglass components are supplied for ease of assembly. Time-reducing components are supplied as standard equipment such as pre-formed elevator ribs and spars and form-fitted canopy frames. Step flanges are factory molded for flush fit and ease of installation for components such as the oil access door, landing gear doors, navigation and landing light lenses, and many other areas throughout the airframe. Precise TIG welding is accomplished for the builder in factory jigs to ensure quality and accuracy of fit. Fabricated metal components are beautifully machined or formed, deburred, and attractively coated with one of several mil-spec surface finishes to guarantee the longevity of the Glasair. Critical bearings and bushings are all factory installed. The detailed quality of various sub-assemblies illustrates the value of choosing a Glasair. An important factor in minimizing assembly time lies with labeling and packaging of all kit components. All hardware is organized in compartmentalized plastic boxes and labeled for ease of reference. Likewise, large components are labeled and vacuum packaged for protection and visual reference until they are needed during assembly. Finally, all components are wrapped and boxed to protect them during shipping and secured inside a sturdy crate for delivery. A master parts list is supplied for Glasair customers to verify inventory upon arrival and to cross-check the name and part number of each piece. Propellers, avionics, instruments, autopilots, factory-new Lycoming engines, and other equipment is available at attractive prices in the Glasair Options catalog. When a part is needed in a hurry, Stoddard Hamilton maintains a complete spare parts inventory and provides next-day UPS service for replacement parts to its Glasair customers. Assembling a Glasair isn't as easy as it looks, but Stoddard Hamilton has worked very hard to make it much easier than you may think. The Glasair's main structural components are assembled with not much more jigging required than a bench to hold the wing at a comfortable working height. The clearly worded and fully illustrated instruction manuals are specifically targeted for first-time builders with no previous experience. Glasair builders are led through each section of the assembly process one simple step at a time. Over 10 years of use with Glasair customers has refined the Glasair assembly manuals to make the job much easier today.
I've been working on Glasairs for about 7 years, probably about 5 or 6 of them. Got about 300 hours of flight time in the Glasairs. I probably know them better than almost anyone. The kit's a fantastic kit. Really enjoy working on them. Construction methods are easy. The manuals are very well put together.
One of the factors in my decision was the instruction manuals, and I looked at the instruction manuals from several different manufacturers and found that the Stoddard manual was very, very complete and in step-by-step format.
The vinyl ester resin used in the assembly of the Glasair is the most user-friendly resin available today, and fiberglassing, as opposed to other types of materials, is by far the easiest assembly skill to acquire. The high viscosity of vinyl ester resin, as compared to epoxies, allows for easier saturation and allows the use of a stronger, tighter weave fiberglass cloth. Mixing and application are easy. Vinyl ester resin is first measured on a gram scale, and a much smaller portion of catalyst is stirred in. The catalyzed resin is then brushed onto the fiberglass cloth, in this case a fuselage seam. A simple stabbing or stippling technique is used to remove all air bubbles from the laminate. Single layers or multiple layers are laminated in this manner and allowed to cure. The vinyl ester resin system has a distinct advantage in that its cure time can be adjusted to last from 20 minutes to over an hour simply by varying the amount of catalyst used. It is much easier to use as compared to epoxies, which typically take 24 hours or more to cure. As another example of the simple tools and construction methods used to assemble a Glasair, a wing rib is cut from the supplied foam sheet using full-scale template. When positioned, a resin and Q-cell mixture is used to form a radius between the rib and wing surface. Once the radius mixture is cured, the rib surface is covered with a layer of fiberglass cloth to provide stiffness. This same saturating and stippling technique is used throughout the assembly of the Glasair airframe for attaching major pieces together or constructing ribs and stiffening bulkheads. Assembly of the large fiberglass airframe components accounts for approximately half of the work involved. The remaining half involves mechanical installation of the various metal subassemblies supplied in the Glasair kit, such as landing gear, control systems, engine mount, attach fittings, and other components. Attachment and removal of assemblies, such as the Glasair's engine cowling, demonstrate the design philosophy of keeping it simple. The Glasair's windshield and canopies are factory trimmed and bonded against stepped flanges to provide a perfect flush fit to the exterior skins. The factory-formed canopy frames are not only incredibly strong and light, but easy to install and replaceable if necessary. Installation of the Glasair wingtips serves to demonstrate the ease and simplicity of tasks designed for first-time builders. First, a hole is drilled through the wingtip and the stepped wing flange beneath. A simple countersinking tool is used to flush fit the machine screw head with the skin surface. With the wingtip removed, a locking nut plate is positioned and drilled in place. A cleco is used for holding precise alignment of the nut plate as the second hole is drilled. Countersinking of the flush head rivets is easily accomplished by hand. A handheld rivet squeezer is used to set the rivets, and the installation is complete. If assembly tasks such as these look realistic for you to accomplish, then building a Glasair is as realistic a dream for you as it is for the thousands of other successful first-time builders.
I think almost anybody can do it. If I can at 61, did at 61, why, a young fellow ought to really think it was a piece of cake.
It was no surprise to Glasair customers familiar with home builds that Stoddard Hamilton was the only company to receive a perfect 5-star rating in Sport Pilot magazine's report card evaluation. Glasair customers receive prompt, courteous service when they need it. Stoddard Hamilton stands committed to its customers' success at assembling a safe, reliable aircraft. A thorough owner's operator's manual is supplied with each Glasair kit in addition to timely revisions and service bulletins when necessary. A quarterly Glasair newsletter is published full of builder hints, letters, and safety and maintenance tips. 2 words best sum up Glasair customer support: committed and professional.
I've been very impressed with Stoddard's support throughout the entire project. That to me was very, very valuable and really was instrumental in getting the airplane completed to the stage you see today. Their builder support, I think, is the best in the world, and the completeness of their kits, as far as I know, is the best in the world. And all of that goes a long ways when you're out there all by yourself. The airplane performs better than the numbers that were in the brochures. It's faster, climbs better, is more stable than I had hoped for. So I'm just totally elated with the airplane. And often asked questions is, would you do it again? And I certainly would. I'd have to probably buy my wife a new house or something like that. Yeah, I would definitely build another airplane.
I took about a year to research all the different planes that were out and the people that were building them. I was impressed with the Glasair 3, and even more impressed when I visited the factory and had a chance to meet some of the people. I advise everybody to take advantage of the excellent factory support that Stoddard offers. I've found the people very helpful, and when there's something I don't understand, there's an easy explanation for it at the end of the phone. I'm glad I made the decision I did. I'm looking forward to the completion of the kit, but I'm enjoying very much the building process as well.
Go ahead and step in, sit on the back of the seat.
One of the most important benefits of Glasair customer support comes on that exciting day when your very own Glasair is complete. Stoddard Hamilton offers the use of its factory Glasairs for the purpose of customer familiarization. The opportunity to fly and practice from the left seat with an experienced factory pilot beside you is an invaluable benefit, providing peace of mind, confidence, and safety prior to making that exciting first flight in your own Glasair. Stoddard Hamilton doesn't just speak commitment, we provide it.
Working with Stoddard Hamilton is a pleasure because they've been in business 10 years, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is that they support their builders. I can call out here and get real fast response on any problem that I might have or where I might need information. I chose to build the Glasair because after I see it fly at these air shows, and I'm a nut on structural integrity, and this airplane is just so strong that I'm convinced that the wings would never come off under me, and especially coming out here over these mountains through those thunderstorms, it was so rough that I really appreciated the structural integrity of the aircraft. Plus, it's comfortable, it's fast. I came up here from Florida to Arlington in 12 hours flight time, all in one day, and it was just a pleasure to do in this aircraft. I have built several other aircraft, 7 or 8 as a matter of fact, but this may be my last aircraft because it's a real sophisticated airplane, fills all of the needs that I'll ever have flying for my flying transportation. And every time I would build another aircraft, it seemed like I would step up in
the capability of the aircraft and the sophistication of the aircraft to where I feel like right now I'm at the top of the ladder, and that's where I'd like to be.
The Glasair boasts one of the highest completion rates amongst home-built aircraft. The answer to why so many people want to build their own aircraft is just for the fun of it. Stoddard Hamilton's annual Fly-In Glasair picnic is but one example of the benefits of becoming a member of the Glasair team. Belonging to a fun group with hundreds of other builders, meeting and enjoying new friends who share a common interest in building and flying their own airplane. Out of all the kit aircraft to choose from, why choose a Glasair? In any product, one must consider total value. Rather than basing a decision on one attribute alone, consider the value of documented performance to rely on. The industry's most tested and proven airframe. Kit completeness. Consider the value of parts quality and packaging. A 10-year manufacturing process with documented quality assurance procedures. Consider the value of proven instruction manuals and an in-depth owner-operator's manual. Of user-friendly materials, simple shop tools, and ease of assembly. Consider the value of dedicated customer support and the pride of employee ownership standing behind the product. Most importantly, consider the proof of satisfied customers. We're confident that when you compare total value, the choice is clear. Glasair. The following is an air show demonstration of a Glasair 3 performing at Airspace America 88 in San Diego, California.
Okay, Bob Herendeen, ladies and gentlemen, will be taken to the air in that beautiful 300 horsepower Glasair 3. Now, the Glasair 3 is the fastest kit-built available in the world. It has a 1,500-mile range and is capable of speeds up over 300 horsepower. They also have a military version of this airplane that is being built now called the 829, which is a turboprop, and it's a version of the Glasair 3, and its first flight is expected in June of this year. Now, the performance that you see Bob Herendeen here in the Glasair today, which after takeoff, as you can see in typical Herendeen fashion and style, as he puts the beautiful Glasair through its paces. Outside negative G turn. And if he breaks off to climb up for his next maneuver that you are going to get. Because it's a 330-mile-an-hour entry into one of the few airplanes in the world that can do the vertical 8, which is two back-to-back loops, one on top of one another. The Glasair 3 is made by the Stoddard Hamilton Aircraft Company, which is located up in Arlington, Washington State. And if you're interested in this airplane after today's show, you might want to go down to the pit area and talk to the people from Stoddard Hamilton Aircraft here about their pretty baby, the Glasair 3. As I mentioned before, Bob will utilize a 330-mile-an-hour entry on this next maneuver known as the vertical 8 maneuver. There's just not too many aircraft around that have the power-to-weight ratio that's able to perform what is needed. Now we look out to our right. Strobe lights flashing. Bob Herrington in the super fast. There's 330 on the clock. The smoke goes on as he starts up. All right, now they have to roll. Now back on the stick once again. Here's where the aircraft and the tower begin to show. Usually at this stage, most airplanes would be ready to stall out and go no farther. But there you see Bob as he goes over the top to the top half of the first loop. Now, roll the airplane over and at the bottom half of the vertical 8. By the all-composite, beautiful Glasair, Bob shows us the vertical penetration of this airplane, being hauled aloft by that IO 540 cubic inch Lycoming engine, producing 300 horsepower. Okay, pulling it through on the top, now the half roll coming down the back side. The roll rate is quite phenomenal on this airplane. Now, as Bob utilizes that speed and horsepower, as he goes up into the inside and there's a quarter of the way up. Now watch what happens at the apex, or right dead center. A beautiful, well-coordinated slow roll. And on around to the inverted position once again. Now he lets the nose drop down, and right about here, now takes the airplane up on a 45-degree upline, and a roll and a half is performed right about here. There's the one, and there is the half. Back comes the 6 once again, and Bob puts the nose of that beautiful, slick Glasair down towards the ground, and this time as he goes across from right to left, a 4-point roll is followed immediately by an 8 point. There's 1, and 2 for half roll, there's 3, there's 4. Okay. 2, 3. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Few airplanes have the roll rate to perform the 4 and then immediately following the 8 on the same line. Okay, the airplane goes up this time using the Cuban 8 turnaround maneuver. Now I'm going to show you something about this beautiful little airplane that looks almost impossible. It's called the minimum radius turn. And believe you me, you won't believe that this airplane can get around in a 360-degree turn as short as it does. Okay, now, Bob pulls over and goes back on the stick. There you see the minimum radius turn. Okay, now Bob will climb up this time after this maneuver. And then he's coming back in with a nice edge fishtail, heading his way and saying hello to all you air show fans out here. You're seeing one of the greatest air shows on earth. We have the talent that has not been assembled in a show this big. All here together, it's just going from the greatest to the greatest in every maneuver, in every performance. Okay, now Bob will be pulling the airplane at the nice edge flight, once again making that airplane 90 degrees, wing down to the ground. Okay, now brakes off back to the right. Now it makes a slight wind correction turn is what he's doing there. Once again, the stick comes back with a 3/4 vertical roll. Okay, Robert, take her on around for 3/4 and stop it right there. And then a pull through at the top. Positive G pull through with a quarter turn to get him back on line with the runway. Now, you're going to see this beautiful but yet very strong and rugged Glasair do the tail slide. Unbelievable. Okay, now Bob connects himself to the vertical. Give me a quarter turn roll, Bob, right about here. Hold it. Now watch this. As the airplane, the power comes off, right back on its tail. How about that? The tail slide. Another quarter turn roll right there, and stop it. Okay, the climb. This time will be 2 vertical rolls in a row as Bob will climb up, come back in again, utilizing all that 300 horsepower. Okay, now here's Bob utilizing. Okay, once the airplane is shown the vertical, watch this. 2 vertical rolls. There's 1, on around, and there's 2, making it look so easy. It's so difficult to do and do right. Pull through at the top, and a half roll coming down the back side. Okay, letting the speed build, and the half roll here. Now utilizing another turnaround maneuver for the reverse cubinate. Half roll right about here, and stopping it. Now back on the stick for the positive, pull through at the top. Now as Bob comes down the show line, he's going to roll the airplane over inverted and do a complete outside loop. Okay, half roll right about in here. Now, pushing forward on the second throttle, Bob starts from the bottom, pulling about 5 to 6 G's as he goes around over the top. Wing level right about here. Now the hard part. As he puts the nose of the airplane straight down towards the ground. Sometimes referred to as the Waldo pepper loop. And there you have it, the complete outside loop. Half roll back to upright, Robert, and stops it there. And now the turnaround maneuver featuring the hammerhead skull turn. With a half roll going up, give me a half roll. Now, hammerhead skull turn. The airplane gets the forward quick flying, in goes the rudder. Oh, so nice and easy over the top. How about another half roll coming back down? Right about there. Okay, let's watch that roll rate again with 16 distinctive stops. Okay, gets himself on the show line. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 distinctive stops in the 16-point roll. Now the climb. You say, will the airplane do a lump shabbat? Is it strong enough? Keep them cameras grinding, folks, because you're going to see in just a few seconds the lump shabbat in the Glasair. Okay, smoke is on. Nose drops down. Now speed goes very quickly. 200, 225, 250, 275 at the bottom. All the power forward. Okay, the airplane goes up. Now, the inside portion. We're right about here. Back towards the stick. Outside portion, right about here. The airplane does a flat, complete tumble over the top. And there you have the lump shabbat. Doing a half turn spin coming down the backside. And now Bob goes up to the 45 degrees line of flight, half roll turnaround. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you'll get your opportunity to wave at Bob Herendeen as he finishes up his act with the inverted wing waggle. Upside down. Now the pull back on the stick, which will bring him right back to the center of our aerobatic stage. Okay, now let's get along with Mr. Herendeen here. Okay, everybody, let's give him a nice big wave. As Bob waves to you.